Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from and when you're going to be viewing this video. My name is Christiana Adebi, and I almost cannot believe that it is day 10 of the 12 days of Teachmas. We really have come a long way. It has been 9 days so far. This is the 10th of exploring topics around education. And if you have been attending consistently, you'd agree with me that we've had a lot of information, a lot of practical steps to take to go home with. And also, a lot of resources have been shared with the community. And tonight is not going to be any different. We're going to be learning or talking about how to integrate technology in education. And who else would be leading the conversation but the senior curriculum manager of the leading ed tech in Africa? At this point, let's say go and confirm. We have our receipt. So I'm going to be hosting the senior curriculum development manager of U Lesson this evening, and it's such an honor for me, such a privilege. She used to be my manager up until about 3 months ago when I was transferred to another subsidiary. So this is um, I consider this a privilege to be hosting Debbie this evening. So I'm just going to read our profile, and then Debbie will come up and then we'll start off our conversation. All right. Deborah Kehinde is a seasoned education professional with a profound commitment to advancing learning and teaching experiences. She's currently serving as the Senior Manager, Curriculum Development and Learning Experience Designer at U Lesson Education. Deborah is making significant contributions to revolutionizing education in Africa. Deborah's passion for education extends beyond her role at U Lesson Education. She is also the founder of The Corporate Teacher, a startup that is aimed at digitally empowering educators. She strives to revolutionize the educational landscape by training teachers to be more digitally inclined and productive. I'm sure that you all understand why this person is coming here tonight. Much more than doing it as a job, she has also taken on this as a personal mission using the platform, the corporate teacher. So, guests in the house, ladies and gentlemen, please can you help me celebrate this evening, Deborah Kehinde. Welcome, Debbie. I call her Debbie.
Thank
Welcome.
you very much, Christiana. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good day from whatever time zone that you're streaming and attending from. I'm super excited to be here. When you were reading my profile, I was just like, oh my God, please. All this, is it necessary? But anyway, I think that it's also important that we see some level of experience and knowledge that will be shared here tonight. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for putting this together. This is really huge, having a platform and a community where teachers can be trained, can get knowledge and can improve like learning and teaching experiences as a whole. I also want to commend everyone that is on this call tonight. It means that your experiences or teaching experiences or learning experiences are important to you. You want to grow, you want to improve as an educator, and that is just amazing in these times. You don't see that quality everywhere, right? And so I just appreciate everyone that is here tonight. I trust we're going to have an amazing time together. I'm also going to learn as well. All right. So thank you, Christiana. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you so much. Thank you so much, Debbie. It's such a privilege to have you here. And to start off our discussion, I've heard it said over and over again that we're in that age where whatever you're doing must be on the platform of technology. Take, for instance, if you're a plumber, you should be a technologist who is also into plumbing. Did I put that well? So if you're a builder, you should be a technologist who is also into building. So if you're a teacher, you should be a technologist who is also into teaching. And I'm pretty sure that every teacher who is on this call, especially considering the fact that they are taking out of their me time right now to be here, must have attended several other trainings or conversations like this one. And they must have heard that, oh, you must incorporate technology. You should incorporate technology. You're a 21st century teacher, and all of those that we hear. So please, can you tell me, or can you tell us, please, why is it important? Because, when I introduced you earlier, I said that you work with one of Africa's largest edtech. I must add this go and verify parts. Please go and verify. So, why is it important for teachers to incorporate technology into education?
All right, that's a very interesting question. So thank you for bringing that up. So, first thing that I always like to establish when I'm speaking with educators about technology, because yeah, the conversation goes on about integrate technology, be a 21st century teacher. Yes, that's amazing. But first, you must understand that technology is not necessarily what is absurd or what is strange or what is difficult. Technology is an enhancer. Anything that enhances the quality of the work that you do, that is technology. You must remember that there was a time that technology was an application of that was in blackboards and chalk, right? Because I mean, what is technology? Like applied scientific knowledge, right? So
Yeah.
there was a time that the technology of the age, and they were not saying 21st century teachers, they're probably saying 18th century teachers or 19th century teachers get inclined with what is being used. And what was that technology of the time? What was that thing that could help improve the quality of work that they were doing? Was blackboards and chalk. That contrast just matched, right? And then we moved on. There was a printing press, and people started printing books. And they saw that, okay, we can keep these books, we can write on scrolls and keep them for years, right? We can preserve these things. That was a technology in an era. And then there's ebooks, and people are like, oh, I don't want to carry books up and down, even though I still love hard copy books, right? But sometimes you want to move around, you don't want to carry hard copy books. That's an expression of technology there. So first off, see technology as an educator or as an individual, see technology as an enhancer of the quality of work that you do in whatever area of your life, right? And since this applies to education and this applies to the learners that you teach, so consider technology the enhancer of teaching and learning experiences in your classroom, whether it's a physical classroom or it's a virtual classroom. When you think about technology, don't think of something complex. Don't say, oh, AI is here again to take our jobs. Of course, there is that fear. And tonight, I hope that with our conversation, that fear is gone, right? And we truly see the essence of how technology can improve the quality of work that we do. So technology is an enhancer. It improves the quality of work that I do, right? And I always tell educators this, and I'm going to tell us this tonight as well. Consider technology your assistant, right? In a typical school classroom, there is the teaching assistant, there's the class teacher, there's the major teacher, the main teacher in the class, then there's a teaching assistant, right? So consider AI, consider technology. The expression of technology in the 21st century now, one of that is artificial intelligence, right? So consider artificial intelligence an assistant. Think of it as having an assistant to improve the quality of work that you do and to also help you get things done faster. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Um,
Yes,
just
certainly.
help us get some clarity.
Yes, certainly, certainly. So I'd like to follow up with another question. So, guys, if we have just for the house, if you have questions for Debbie as we go along, please do not hesitate to put your questions in the comment section. I'm sure that she would be happy to respond to your questions. If you have reactions, please let us know. If what she's saying is getting to you, let us know as well. We'd like to get feedback from the audience as we go along. And just in case you just joined us, the voice you've been hearing is that of Kehinde Deborah. She is the senior curriculum development manager at She's the senior manager, curriculum development and learning experience designer at U Lesson Education. And she's speaking to us this evening about how we can integrate technology into education. So, back to you, Debbie. I'd like to follow up on what you just said with a
All
question.
right. Okay.
So you talked about how in the past teachers used to, the current technology is just a tool that will help you to do what you can do better. So there are a
Yeah.
lot of activities that teachers carry on in the classroom. Can you
Mhm.
tell us how um, we can integrate technology into all of this, say something like class management?
Hmm. So that's a very interesting question, right? There are so many tools now that come to mind, just as you mentioned, classroom management. So I know that there are two major things that there are many other issues that teachers have, but there are two things. One is administrative control, classroom management. You want to feel in charge of the classroom, know what's going on with that little boy at the back that is always making noise or always talking. Classroom management is a big deal, right? Whether it's a virtual classroom, and even when COVID hit and schools had to have classes online, that issue was still very, very strong. Like, classroom management is a big deal. And even in the company that I currently work in, one of our offerings is a live class, the live lessons, right? And every now and then we have we have challenges with learners that are disturbing the class and all of that. So first off, right, is the hybrid model, right, of integrating technology into the classroom. But since you're specifically asking for classroom management, I'll be mentioning tools. There's a tool I'm very aware of, Edvis, right? They have a classroom management build on their application, right? So it helps you grade your learners, help you take attendance, help you know who is in school. Literally, you do everything digitally, right? That's a very, very amazing tool. Another thing that could also help you with, like, or help us with classroom management, right, is it's not just like, oh, keeping the learners in check, it's getting them engaged. Like, learner engagement is so important. And how do you engage a learner, right? It's by pricking their interest, it's by making sure that whatever is going on in the classroom is not teacher centered, it's learner centered. This conversation comes up every now and again. You wake up in the morning, you say, okay, I have English class, 40 minutes, period. What am I going to do? Introduce the topic right on the board, give them an activity, or tell them, answer this question, or I go on about, explaining what the topic is. I think a different approach to go about this would be to put yourself in the shoe of the learner, right? Because a lot of times we is it overestimate how easy or how difficult it is to grab some concept. When I was in school, when I was a younger person, I had difficulty with mathematics, right? And it wasn't necessarily the subject, it was really the approach of the teacher, right, comes into the classroom, right? He has planned and organized his period, but he didn't organize his period in a way that, was learner centered. He came to the class, you write for 20 minutes, you face the board and write. So bring out your note and copy. After that, then he explains, use one example to explain substitution, and that's the end. If you get it, yes, the very, very smart ones in the class, once they've gotten it like this, he has moved forward. And New General Mathematics, page 66, question number 1 to 7. That's your assignment. Have a wonderful day. That's the end of the class, right? So that is an
Wow.
entirely
Wow.
teacher-centered approach. A better approach would probably be applying real life, like what they call that,
Mm-hmm.
real life application. Bringing two
Scenarios.
apples to the class. This is X. This is
Mm-hmm.
Y. What happens if I add X plus Y? I know what an apple is. Or take me outside of the classroom. Use the football pitch in the school compound. If you are doing a virtual classroom, you can get images and short videos from YouTube or Google, or design something on Canva. And by the way, I believe that every teacher should integrate with tools, like learn how to use other tools, right? And that's one of the reason why, when Christiana was introducing me, she said something about the corporate teacher. There's this idea in the corporate world of how teachers, or no, not teachers, like how you should be as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just harmed with the educational skills and how to teach these learners. You also have, because you are a teacher, right? It means that you have to be versatile, and you have to move with the times. You have to be able
Mm-hmm.
to be ahead of the people you are teaching. And what is applicable in this century is that learners are visual. They want to do stuff, you want to see beautiful things. So come to the class with a short PowerPoint presentation. Start the class with a little 5 minutes cartoon of calculation from adapted math from Google, and just ask them to just play, let everybody laugh, and get into the experience of the classroom, of the topic rather. That way it sticks. Some of the lessons that I
Yeah.
can never forget in my life are experiences where the teacher started with a story, engaged us, gave us, maybe not even necessarily gave us something edible to eat in the classroom, but just engaging
Mm-hmm.
us, like making us feel like we
Mm-hmm.
really mattered and the lesson was about
Mm-hmm.
us. I get that this can be difficult to do in a classroom where you have a lot of learners, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
is why,
Yeah.
like, integrating like educational content from a lot of platforms. This is the best time to even be a teacher, if you ask me. Like, you have tons of
Yay.
resources everywhere. You don't have to do half the work. Like,
Wow.
a platform like Twinkle has PowerPoint, not necessarily PowerPoint, but presentation slides that has been done on different topics, quizzes, activities,
Mm-hmm.
games. What do you need? I'm going to mention a number of tools here
Debbie,
today.
please hold on. Please hold on. I really want you to get into the tools, but just before that, let me
Yeah,
let me interrupt you a bit.
no
You
problem.
talked about your math teacher and how your
Yeah.
math teacher came into class, and maybe while in class, all he did for like 15-20 minutes was just to write on the board, and then it was
Mm-hmm.
more like people were just copying off what he wrote on the board. Of course, there are some smart children that will get what he's teaching just by copying, but some others would
Mm-hmm.
not get it. I believe that such so basically the man came for the class that was meant to be a math class, and he came for a handwriting or note copying or note taking classroom. And I
Yeah.
think that even with technology, it's very easy to slip into that rut as well. For instance, you want to have a class on maybe say creative writing. You want students to write a story. At the end of the day, you are not assessing their ability to write the story, rather you're assessing their ability to type. So you tell them to type out the story. So how do we ensure that somehow, yes, we want to integrate technology, but technology is not then distracting us from learning itself? I don't know if I painted that picture correctly.
Yes, I get what you mean. It's like a teacher using technology to fulfill all righteousness. Literally, that's what that means, right? So, like I said, like technology is an enhancer. you must have a goal. Technology is not the goal. Technology is a tool, right?
Mm,
If you have technology and you don't have a goal, you don't have a lesson objective, you are just you are same as a person who is not using technology at all. Like if you
mm,
come into a classroom without an objective, without a learning goal for that classroom, right? And you're using technology, you're just playing around. So think
mm,
of it, it doesn't take away from your role, it doesn't take away from your job. Rather, it's something that is in addition to what you're doing. So, how do I help them understand this concept? You must start from there, right?
mm,
Whatever tool you are
mm,
using, whatever videos they are watching, it's supposed to be an added advantage, right? It's supposed to help them understand. It's supposed to help them understand whatever you defined as the learning objective or the lesson objective for that class. So, this is a classroom. I want to teach sentence structures. Not just want to teach them, I want them to understand the different types of sentence structures in this classroom. So what do? I pick up a video, a 3 minutes video. I play 1 minute in the introduction. After explaining, I go back to explain to show them what the body of a story is, then go back to the video again, explain, show them what the conclusion of a story should be, show them the elements of a story and all that. Like I said, a story rather of a
mm.
sentence,
Yeah.
it's not separate or it's not outside of
Mm-hmm.
each other. Whatever quizzes you're taking from
Fantastic.
Twinkle, for example, whatever videos you are using, it must
Mm-hmm.
tie into the learning objective, right? So like I
Awesome.
said, start
Awesome.
with what you want to achieve. What do I want
Mm,
to achieve in this class? Technology is not what you want to achieve. Technology takes the
mm.
form technology takes the form you it's like is it plasticine we call this thing, this clay that we used as kids.
Play-Doh.
Play dough. Yeah.
Play-Doh.
Yes. So it's right there. You are the one who is going to carve it into what you want to achieve.
The mold. Mm.
Yes, exactly. You're
Oh,
the one who's going
fantastic.
to
So
mold it.
we've okay. So let me try and see if I got what you said. So basically what you're saying is, guys, always begin with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve in that lesson? Then it's not, my school said my children must type. So this lesson is all about getting them
Mhm.
to type. Well, if that's your goal, that's different, but you should consider the learning objectives of that lesson. And then you should see technology as a tool geared that would help you to achieve that objective, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you, Debbie. All right. Okay, so I interrupted you as you were about to share with us some other tech tools. So please, I'd like you to please share tech tools with us. We want to learn from you. What tech tools can we begin to integrate or, yes, into our lessons as teachers? And then I'm sure that as you speak, some other teachers too, please, this is a community. You can also just share with us as well.
Yeah. So there's an established like group, right? Is there?
Yes, 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 we have a
Okay.
WhatsApp group.
All right, fantastic. Because I think that just mentioning it, we might not be able to get all of them, but it's something that you can share on the group later as well.
Okay.
So there are a lot of tools. From the very popular one, recent but not recent, is ChatGPT, right? Someone was saying something to me the other day, right? And sent me a very nice message. I was so touched. And then the person was like, it was GPT that wrote this message. Oh. It wasn't really from me. And I was laughing. So that's a tool that can help you do amazing work, like with good prompts, because you also have to, right? Like we said, you are the author, right? Technology is a tool, right? You are the one who is molding. So you have to tell it what you want, how you want it, to get great results. So ChatGPT is a tool with prompts that we can, use prompts to generate lesson plans, quizzes, higher order assessments, A lot you can do with that. There's another one called consensus.app, right? If this is more specific for scientific research, I use this more to like confirm any like scientific information I want to verify. Because I mean, Google is there, but Google is very generic. You could see an information on Google that is not necessarily accurate, but somebody put it there. And what Google will do for you is to bring out all information about what you're searching for, but doesn't necessarily mean that the information is accurate. So with consensus.app, you can search for specific, do scientific research, like search for things that are specific to the sciences. There's perplexity.ai, almost very, very similar to ChatGPT and consensus.ai. So there are a number of options. There's autodraw.com. In the last training I had with a school, I was speaking to the kindergartner teachers and the lower grade teachers, right? And they're like, I was telling them they don't even need to draw. So there's a tool called autodraw.com. Auto draw, you know that you are the teacher that can't draw very well. Your drawing is very bad. That tool, all you have to do is just draw that your bad drawing. Just give it the bad drawing. What it does, it will give you actual representation, right? Actual drawings, right? And then you can print this out or you can display it in the classroom, right? There was in that training, I drew a ugly little character and he gave me beautiful recommendations. There's math.he.net, that's specifically for math equations and questions and concepts, right? There's slides AI.oi or IO rather. Yeah, there's tome.ai. All of these tools I would share so that this can be shared on the group. There's Quillbots, there's Canva for design, right? As educators, in fact, on Canva, there's the education section. You would see beautiful, beautiful slides that you can even like redesign. So you're not necessarily even starting from scratch. Someone has done some level of work. You just need to adapt it to your classroom or adapt it to what you prefer, right? There's Google Lens. So you don't want to type something. You can just take a picture of the textbook, you know, and it helps you. You can copy the text out on a page, right, on your laptop or on your phone, right? So these are examples of tools that we can use to improve our teaching and learning experience. There's the very popular one, there's YouTube, right? There's Google as well, because it doesn't have to be complex tools. And these tools I've mentioned as well, they're not complex. There's Kahoot. You want to do a quick quiz in class, 5 minutes, let's have a winner, because learners like things that are competitive. There's the multiplayer quiz on the U-Lesson app as well. So many, so many, so many tools. There's Google Classroom, there's Scratch, there's Nearboard. All right, I could go on and on, right? So, but I think just mentioning these tools, we might have taken some of them down, but I would share these tools with Christiana so that she can share on the group so we can actually check them out, right? As a teacher, you must be very, very proactive with learning and like development. You have to be ahead, right? You have to be ahead of the classroom, ahead of the learners, and put yourself in their shoes as well, right? So those are some of the tools that we can make use of as educators.
Wow.
I hope that,
While you were sharing those tools, I was just
yeah.
like, give us, Debbie, give us. Like before we recover from one, you've dropped another one on our laps. So I would like to ask, how do you stay updated? How do you learn about these tech tools? Please come and gist us so that we too we can be getting from the source.
Well, how? So there are teacher communities, there are conferences that are held. So I do a lot of research, right? When it comes to this, I think the first place to start is just asking yourself daily, what can I do to improve what I'm doing now? Of course, stress cannot be avoided in some areas. You still have to do the work, but you have to learn to ask yourself the question, is there a better way to do what I'm doing now? Like, is there a tool that can improve this and make me more effective, right? It starts from there. It starts from just going on Google and saying, what are the top educational conferences in the world? What are the top educational countries in the world, like Finland? What are they doing differently? So you have to be very big on research and development as a teacher. Join communities. I think you've even taken the first step. You're in a community where you can learn about improving teaching and learning experiences. This is one of such platforms. So join communities where things like this are being spoken about. So when people share tools, you can see these tools and you can check on them, or you can check for them, and you can research and find the one that works best for you. You know, research. Like, I can't mention it enough. So online resources, take courses as well, right? Like, research, what are the best educational courses I can take for e-learning, for artificial intelligence. There's a course I recommended some months ago to some teachers, artificial intelligence for teachers. That's a course to take. I think it's on Coursera also, right? Artificial intelligence for teachers, research. There are tons of courses that have been done by educators who also struggled in one way or the other, right? And they're trying to help other educators as well. So online resources, courses, subscribe to newsletters, attend online conferences. If you can go for the physical ones, go for the physical one. Follow educational blogs. You can start from as little as being on LinkedIn and following every important educational organization. It starts from there. Start from little things like that, right? Then attend conferences, webinars, workshops that have to do with teaching and improving learning, right? Network, engage with educators. By being in a community like this, you get to engage with other educators and ask what they are doing differently. I know that that's something that teachers do a lot, like they network and they help each other, right? What are you doing differently to teach this physics topic in your school? Like, things like that. Stay curious and explore. Like, be very passionate about research and development. Those are the things I can say that can help you stay updated. So professional development, online resources, networking, joining a community, and just continuous learning. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. If there's something that I've gotten from all that you said, Debbie, it's the fact that to stay abreast, you have to be very deliberate. You cannot just leave yourself and just assume that information will come, or they'll just information will swim like fish and just swim
Mm,
towards you. You have to
yeah.
go out there and hunt for the information that you need. You have to
Yeah.
go out there and hunt for the leverage that you so desire. Thank you so
Mm.
much for sharing that with us. For everyone in the house, the voice you've been hearing is that of Deborah Kehinde. She envisions a future where education in Africa evolves through 21st century compliant innovations. A journey marked by relentless passion and continuous learning has positioned her as a key player in reshaping educational landscapes across the continent. As she continues her impactful work at U Lesson Education and beyond, Deborah remains steadfast in her commitment to creating a transformative educational experience for learners and educators alike. Yes, educators, because she also runs the corporate teacher, where that's a platform that she leverages to empower teachers out there. So I'd like you to please go on Instagram, follow her at the corporate teacher. You can search for her on Instagram, and please follow Deborah. Um, she's mentioned the fact that it's important for us as teachers to be a part of communities, because it's when you are in certain communities that you would get to hear certain things. Also follow us on Teachers Lounge NG, and we're doing our giveaways this period. One teacher stands a chance to win a journal per teacher for the next 12, or for the 12 days of Teachmas. So far, I don't know, maybe teachers don't want to reflect. We have reflection journals up for grabs, and all you need to do to qualify is just to share your key takeaways with us on our Instagram page at Teachers Lounge ng. At the end of the 12 days of Teachmas, the posts with the highest, the comments rather, with the highest likes will stand a chance to get a free copy of the reflection journal for teachers. Now, I'd like us to please continue with our conversation. And this time around, Debbie, I would like to ask you, what do you think the future holds for us in the education sector as far as technology is concerned? Is there a future where AI will come and start teaching? They will tell us to pack our bags out of the classroom. Should we be waiting for
Ah,
that?
no, that's never going to happen, right? So yes, there's always going to be like an evolving in a century. Guess what? What we are raving about now, in a number of years, right? It's going to be like the blackboard and chalk innovation. I always tell myself that whatever you're raving about, or you feel like, oh, this is a lot, there's just so much going on, just give it another 10 years, give it a decade or 5 years. There's going to be so much changes. You'll be amazed. So, AI, machine learning, or whatever innovation, right, is not, it can never replace you. Guess what? These tools are being trained by human. They've been fed thousands of years of human intelligence. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. It's not necessarily real. It was created, generated based off of what was from human beings. The capacity of the human brain still stands unquestionable, right? And so the human experience that you give as a teacher or as a person, AI cannot give that human experience, at least until tomorrow, right? AI cannot give that human touch, right? That human experience. And that is what would forever be your leverage. Another thing would be technology will replace, what do I call it? Is it nonchalant teachers? There's a phrase, I can't remember what I say, but basically the point is,
Rigid.
if yes, if you're not abreast of development, if you're not ahead, then AI will replace you, right? But if you integrate AI, not just AI, you integrate technology, that's a teacher that cannot be replaced, because that's like infinite ability. It's like having an additional assistant, having different assistants in different places, being able to do your job for you, right? And it would not replace that human effect, that human factor. I say this to teachers, never for see, the base of your job is that you're a teacher. That's the starting point. You've not done it, like, it's amazing that you're an educator, and it gives you an important leverage. It's a powerful thing to be able to impact knowledge into anybody. It's not easy to do. For some to teach somebody and to help them retain that knowledge, it's an amazing thing to do. Now go the extra mile by doing this for yourself. Be a teacher that knows how to design. Be a teacher that knows how to script. Be a teacher that knows how to use all these tools. Like, be at the cutting edge. Be a teacher that is a graphic designer. Christiana, I remember Christiana, like, we were trying to design something on the team one time, and Christiana was like, yeah, I do graphics design, I'm going to help us sort it out. And you know what it does? Because you have the knowledge, the educational experience, you know what it means to serve a visual learner. You know what it means to serve a learner that wants to read and write. So you will not just design, you won't be a designer alone. You come with that. It's like so much packed knowledge and information that you can use to your advantage. So I think the last thing I'll just say on that is, don't just stay and say, okay, yes, you are a teacher that designs, a teacher that possibly codes if you want, if you have interest in that, or you see that, okay, this is something that you have the ability to learn. Imagine coming to class and you're talking about computers, and you can give your learners an experience of, like, you can talk about JavaScript, tell them about computing languages, expose them to these realities. That's what it's about. Because the disconnect is usually that you learn things that you can't apply in real life. and then it feels like you now have to start over again, which is what's happening for a lot of our learners. Now imagine a teacher who is at the forefront of all these things, who is experienced, sees this real life application and can bring it into their classroom. And guess what? You are the model for these learners. Imagine your learners saying that, oh, my teacher can design, my teacher can write, my teacher is an author, my teacher is, you know, jack of all trades, maybe, but maybe not. But yeah, my teacher has this skill. My teacher has. Have you seen learners that go back home and argue with their parents that my teacher said the pronunciation of this word is something else? Arguing with their parents. Their parents tell you, am I the one paying your school fees or is your class teacher? You know, and it shows the amount of influence that you have and you carry. So please don't take that for granted. Maximize it to the best, to your best ability. Yeah, thank you, Christian.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that, Debbie. So I think I would like to ask, going forward, linking that to what you said now, essentially what you're saying is that the only teacher that will not be relevant in future is that teacher who has not learned how to even say use technology. Then if you want to take it
Exactly.
one step further, you should even try to see how you can not just use technology that someone else has developed. You can even start developing your own. You can learn to code, you can build your own apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, but some
Mm-hmm.
people may be in the audience and they would say, but then I have this challenge and maybe there's no time, maybe I don't have a laptop. I'd like you to share what challenges can people possibly have, and how can they surmount these challenges when it comes to adopting tech, using tech, leveraging tech, and even becoming creators as far as tech is concerned.
Hmm. So challenges can differ, right, depending on the individual, right? Well, I'll try to mention some really generic issues I can identify with or that I've seen, right? Maybe you're teaching in a school that is not necessarily technology enhanced. So that school is they don't really see the importance. They still want you to write your lesson notes, they want you to yeah, they still want you to write. They want you to do a lot of traditional things. Like they want you to follow the traditional way. I think you can start by trying to. It's going to be subtle, right? Little by little to show them the influence this technology can have. Most schools at least have a computer room, right? If there's no projector in the classroom or you don't have a laptop, you can try audio. Like I said, technology is an enhancer. It doesn't have to be glamorous, right? It just has to be effective.
Mm,
It just has to be
mm,
effective. I've seen videos that are beautiful but did not pass any educational, like it didn't have any educational content. And it was on a particular academic topic. I won't use that video because the visuals are great. At the end of the day, it's still not like helping my learners understand that concept, no matter how beautiful it is. So you must remember whatever you're using or doing must be effective. So it could be one period in the week, right? You can start with that. Let's all go to the computer room, go to Enchanter or something. Most systems have that if it's that basic desktop that is in the computer room. Or come with a flash. At least the school can even afford to buy a flash. If they can't buy a flash, you buy the flash. You need it, you know, download videos and you just need a white screen, right? You can even get a banner that is just plain white or turn the back of the banner. Like look for simple ways you can maximize what you have. If it's that there's no projector, there's no computer room, you have a device, right? You have a phone. 30 seconds, pass the phone around, a group of five in like 3 rows. Let everybody watch this video. And okay, what did you get from that video? Let's have a conversation. Something like that. Or play an audio. You want to test their listening skills. Like there's so many things you can do. You want to see how they are tuned to problem solving or how they can analyze. right? You can play an audio on your phone and tell them that you are going to monitor. Basically, your questions are going to be based off of if they can retain the knowledge, because that's something to test for. So you can maximize what you have. It can be as little as playing an audio with your device, can be as little as going to the computer room in the school once in a week, can be as little as hosting them on a Google Meet on your laptop and showing one video. They will look forward to that experience weekly, I can assure you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you. I want us to quickly touch on digital literacy before we start wrapping up. So, because we're talking about technology, it's also important that yes, the students that we teach now are digital natives. They were born into technology. They know everything about technology. They even know more than me. You know, people are fond of saying things like, ah, if my son should handle my phone, even things I did not know about my phone, he will bring it out and show me. But aside the fact that they are digital natives, we still need to educate them. We need to teach them things like digital search skills, how to search for things on the internet, online identity management, internet safety, digital plagiarism, critical thinking. So why is it
Mm-hmm.
important that that schools incorporate concepts around digital literacy into their curriculum?
All right. So you've mentioned a lot of challenges with digital literacy, right? Because yeah, that's the assumption a lot of people have, that because you have a child that's born into the 21st century or born in this age, they are in the womb, they're already pressing devices safe. People say that jokingly. And because of that, you think that you assume that is digital literacy. That is not digital literacy. Of course, that is digital awareness, right? But it's not necessarily digital literacy. A lot of people go online, even as adults, as we are right now. Like, you see digital behaviors. People don't know how to manage like their data. You post anywhere, you post online, you post with your car, the plate number of your car, you post with the front of your house. So people can track you down by watching, like, just checking your Instagram, they know where you live, they can look for you and just finish you. Like, basically, those are issues that we face. So yeah, so it's important for schools to start integrating this. It's the same thing with like financial literacy as well. We just assume that, oh, we know about money because we can count money, but that's not necessarily what it is. So digital literacy is very important for navigating the modern world. And what does that mean? It means like in building skill sets. So learning how to code, learning information processing. How do I search for things online? That's an example. Some people don't know how to search for information online. Like, how do I research, right? How do I search online and find what I'm looking for? So information processes, these skills need to be taught. That's what digital literacy is, and how to protect yourself. Two-step verifications. Those are things to teach to people. Two-step verifications on online platform. Reading terms and conditions before you accept. Accepting cookies when you go on websites. These are things that need to be taught, because a
Uh,
lot of just
I just feel
you just
attacked
click
right now.
accept.
Yes, nah. Is that not why they make it so long so that we'll not read? We'll just click, I accept, I agree.
Ah, well, you have to read, because you might have as well have signed your life away. Maybe not, but I mean, we hope it doesn't get to that. you know, But yeah, so those things need to be taught in the classroom, and again, like in the workforce. A lot of people get out of school and they realize that, oh, I don't know how to use Google Sheets. I don't know how to use Microsoft tools. I don't know, like, I don't know how to do these things. And I have gone to a school, a 4-year degree, secondary school, primary school. I just don't know how to do these things. So I think that as teachers, for example, mathematics teacher, you can use Google Sheets to help them calculate transactions, you know, like integrate what would this learner, so think about it as a teacher, what would this child find necessary to as a life skill, what's important for them, and integrate these digital tools into the classroom. Someone was saying something the other day to me about how they didn't allow their, like, they schooled their children before they started using devices, and they told them that for you to have a social media account, you have to have something that you're offering to the world. You cannot just create a social media account to be posting about yourself. And that was like a very interesting perspective. But I liked the sense of direction that it was going to give those kids. So you're not just going to be there and be an onlooker. You're going to go there and um pour some impact, or like share some impact with like society. That's some level of like literacy that is being like taught. So yeah, so empowerment, the importance of teaching digital literacy, right? It helps students to critically evaluate information, communicate effectively, and use technology responsibly. I dare say like a lot of us don't use technology responsibly. We're fighting Instagram addictions and, you know, Twitter addictions here and there, because you have to learn how to use technology responsibly. It's like when they say drink responsibly as well. Any good thing can be abused, right? And also online safety. So when we're teaching digital literacy in school, we're teaching, as a teacher, you're applying it to your educational experiences. You're trying to teach them this critical skill that will be necessary for them when they go into the workforce, into this modern world. Then you're empowering them to communicate effectively, to use technology responsibly. So have a two-step verification, those kind of things. Be careful what you share online. This is where to go to research. I know a lot of parents even have parental control on this, on devices
Mm-hmm.
that they get for their children, you know, to teach them about online safety, you know, cybersecurity. Like, you can't, don't use random password. Don't use passwords that somebody will guess your date of birth, your year of birth, things like that. Right. So as we also get digital, so we can take courses, you can go online, just search digital literacy courses. You can start from there. Take a course, a 3 hour course, take something that won't take too much of your time, a 2 hour course, and start to see how you can integrate that in your classroom or with the learners that you are exposed to.
Thank you so much, Debbie. And I like the note that you ended on. You see, you cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah.
These days, we say, if he didn't day, he didn't day. So you cannot give what you don't have. And that's why she's asking us to go out there. Go and take a digital literacy course so that you can be a better teacher, you can be a better parent. I particularly got a tip today. My children will hear what. If you are not serving the world something, what do you need a social media account for? Go and catch a vision. When your vision is ready, we'll open the account. Okay, that was interesting and it really stuck with me because the truth is that we have to use the media responsibly, like Debbie has said. Debbie, I've been enjoying this conversation with you, and I do not want it to end, but unfortunately, we do not hold time in our hands. We have to um, begin to wrap this up. So I don't know if anybody in the house would like to ask a question or you just want to give feedback, you have a comment, you can just indicate by raising your hand. I'm going to give about two people the opportunity to speak with Debbie. Anyone? Ding, dong. All right. Okay, so, oh, awesome. Thank you. We'll start with Kuroki. Hi, Kuroki. Please unmute your mic.
Hi, sorry, I just mistakenly changed my name. My name is actually Essay, and I have more of a comment than a question. And truly, when I attend sessions like this, I always try to really like piece things, like break things down and make sure I'm understanding and come up with a question, because I don't want to leave this session with any confusion or with any doubts in my mind. And truly, I've not been able to come up with any questions. I just wanted to say how eye-opening this has been. I'm not a teacher, but as an auntie to a niece, I've learned a lot. To nieces, actually, I've learned a lot that will help me in, educating them towards being more technologically advanced. So thank you so much, Deborah and Tiana, for a wonderful session.
Awesome. Thank you so much, SA, for
Welcome.
that.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on to Ibironke Olubamiche. Please, you may please unmute your mic.
Thank you so really. I joined very late, and I somebody just sent the link to me, and I joined very late. I just want to appreciate Deborah. Thank you so much for the wealth of information. But I want to find out, is this? I saw that it's being recorded, but is it? How do we get it? If you don't mind, please, because there are some people I would like to also listen to this. I don't know if that is possible. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mrs. Ibironke Olubamiche. Yes, the recording is or will be available. You can follow us on Instagram at Teachers Lounge NG, and then you would get the link to our YouTube page. So all the videos will be uploaded on YouTube. We're having a series. It's called 12 Days of Teachmas. And for these 12 days, we are going to be dealing with, or we have been dealing with 12 topics around education. Today is day 10. We have 2 more days to go. So the videos for day 1 to day 9 are already on YouTube. This video would be on YouTube tomorrow by God's grace, and then other sessions as well will be uploaded on YouTube. So you can search us out. I will drop the link to our YouTube page before the end of this session. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
You are welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I think that will be all for tonight. Wow, like I said when we began, at some point it was looking like, Christiana, 12 days, how are we going to run them? But here we are. This is day 10 already, and it has been explosive. Please, I would like you all to celebrate Deborah Kehinde with me. Please celebrate Debbie because I think she has done an amazing job tonight. Thank you so much, Debbie. That was amazing. That was outstanding. Celebrate you. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. So good to have you. And with that, we have come to the end of day 10 of the 12 days of Teachmas. Can't wait to have you tomorrow. It will be day 11, and we're going to be talking about special needs education. The speaker for tomorrow was in the meeting earlier. I don't know if she's still around, but she can't wait. I'm sure that she can't wait to share her thoughts with the community. And on the last day, day 12, we're going to be talking about self-care for teachers. So I missed all the demands that are placed on you as a teacher. How can you take care of yourself? If you have questions around that, please join us on day 12. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Debbie. So good to have you
Thank
once
you,
again.
Christiana. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Debbie. God bless you. I'm really blessed. You did so
You're
well
Thank
welcome.
you.
tonight.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Good
Thank you,
Bye.
night,
Bye.
everyone.
Pastor.
Thank you very much.